Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? This time, we're getting a sneak peek at Dr. Elizabeth Klein's session, I and the Father are one.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Right, and trust me, this is not your typical theological debate.
Right.
This gets to the core of what it means to be human, to connect with, well, something bigger.
What really stood out to me was how Dr. Klein kind of flips the script.
Flips the script, how so?
We usually think of mystery as something, way out there, unknown.
Right.
But she's saying the incarnation, God becoming human in Jesus, actually reveals an even deeper mystery.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because it shows us the potential of, well, our own humanity.
That's interesting. You'd think seeing God in the flesh would simplify things?
You would think. But Dr. Klein's saying, hold on, there's so much more to uncover. About God, sure, but also about what it means to be human.
So it's more complex than we think.
Way more.
Yeah.
And this is where the Trinity comes in. God is one, yet three persons, totally unified.
Always a mind bender, the Trinity.
Totally. It's a mystery we may never fully grasp, but it shows this amazing dynamic, this love within God's very being.
Okay, following so far.
And that same dynamic, it's reflected in Jesus, fully God and fully human.
So how does Jesus, being both God and human, help us understand ourselves better?
Think about it. If God chose to become one of us, to live and experience life in a human body.
With all the ups and downs.
Exactly. It tells us something huge about the value, the potential of our own humanity. We're made in God's image, right?
Right.
Jesus shows us what that image can become, even in a broken world.
I like that.
Mm.
But it's still a bit abstract for me. Does
Yeah.
Dr. Klein give any specific examples?
Absolutely. She focuses on the resurrection. Think about Jesus's resurrected body. He's physically there, eating with his disciples, but he can also walk through walls.
Wow, yeah.
But this isn't about special effects. It's about what it means for us. If we believe in the resurrection of the body, what does Jesus's transformed body tell us about the possibilities for our own resurrected bodies?
Never thought of it like that.
Right. What does it mean to share in divine life, even physically? These are the questions Dr. Klein wants us to think about.
Whoa, mind-blowing. Makes you rethink what being human even means.
For sure.
And this whole idea of God's power breaking into the physical world reminds me of theophanies, when God's glory becomes visible.
Yes. And she uses the transfiguration as a powerful example. Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up a mountain, and suddenly he's radiant like the sun. Moses and Elijah appear, and God's voice booms from the clouds.
Talk about a showstopper.
Right. But Dr. Klein's point is that these theophanies aren't just for show. They're calls to action.
Okay, so more than just a cool light show.
Way more. Remember Peter's reaction. He wants to build tents and stay on that mountaintop, soaking it all in.
Understandable, right.
Totally. But God's voice tells them to listen to Jesus. And listening to Jesus means following him, even to the cross, even into the mess of the world.
So it's about letting these encounters with God change us and send us out to do something.
Exactly. Not about staying comfy in our spiritual bubble.
Makes sense.
And you know what's interesting? Dr. Klein connects this to sharing our faith.
Sharing our faith.
She says that to really understand God's revelation, we need to share it with others. Going on mission, evangelizing, it's not something we do after we've become super holy.
You're saying it's not about getting everything perfect first?
Exactly. It's part of the process. Think about it. If God is a community of love, like the Trinity shows us.
Then we're made for community too.
Exactly. Bringing others into that life of love, sharing what we've experienced, it's part of what makes it complete.
Wow, that's powerful. So this is just a glimpse of what Dr. Elizabeth Klein will be diving into during her Zoom session on November 25th, 8 p.m. Singapore time.
And what's cool is this session is designed to be interactive, so it's not just listening.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, Dr. Klein's talk will be followed by reflection questions to help you personally process these ideas. Then we'll have a facilitated discussion where you can share your own insights and explore how to apply all of this.
Awesome. So it's like we're all going on this deep dive together.
Exactly. And who knows? You might even discover something new about yourself along the way. So mark your calendars, November 25th at 8 p.m. Singapore time. We can't wait to see you there.
This whole idea of sharing our faith, being part of our growth,
Yeah.
that really resonated with me.
Yeah, I get that.
It's not about having all the answers
Right.
or being some, like, perfect spokesperson for God.
Definitely not. It's more about, recognizing we're all on this journey.
Right, right.
And sometimes the best way to learn is by sharing our own experiences, even the messy ones.
We're all just fellow travelers helping each other out along the way.
I love that image.
And when we do that, it makes the mystery of God more Well, accessible to others. It's not so abstract anymore. It becomes
Yeah.
more real. Speaking of real, Dr. Klein also talks about how the incarnation doesn't just show us God's glory, it also reveals the depths of human suffering.
That's so important. We can get caught up in the miraculous stuff.
Yeah, the wow factor.
Exactly. But Dr. Klein reminds us Jesus was fully human. He experienced pain, rejection, even death on a cross. To ignore that would be to miss a huge part of who Jesus is.
So how does Dr. Klein reconcile God's glory and human suffering?
She connects it to the idea of mystery. The incarnation doesn't erase suffering, it gives it new meaning.
Okay, how so?
She brings in St. Thomas Aquinas, who said one purpose of the incarnation was to, and I'm paraphrasing here, restore our hope in humanity and make us fear sin.
Fear sin. That's interesting.
Right, because in Christ, we see what it means to be truly human, fully alive, without sin.
And that makes us...
When we compare that to our own brokenness, our selfishness, it should make us want to turn away from sin.
I see. It raises the stakes, shows us the potential for good and evil inside us.
Exactly.
It's not about guilt, but recognizing the incredible dignity God gave us. And that potential, it's only fully realized when we follow Christ. Even when it's hard, even when it means sacrifice.
It's a tough message.
But hopeful too, right?
Absolutely, and that's what Dr. Klein dives deeper into during her Zoom session. This isn't just about hearing these ideas, it's a chance to really engage with them, to see how they impact your own life and faith.
It sounds like a really rich, thought-provoking experience.
It will be. We'll have time for reflection, discussion, even some practical exercises to help you apply these insights to your everyday life.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's not just head knowledge, it's putting it into practice.
exactly. And maybe by wrestling with this mystery of I and the Father are one, we'll discover something new about ourselves.
That's a good point. We often think of mystery as something distant and unknowable.
But sometimes the deepest mysteries are right there in front of us, within us, just waiting to be uncovered.
I like that. And what better way to uncover them than together with others, guided by Dr. Klein. So,
Right.
to everyone listening, join us for this Zoom session.
Seriously, you won't want to miss it. Mark your calendars, November 25th, 8 p.m. Singapore time.
We can't wait to see you there. I'm really looking forward to the discussion part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always love hearing how other people are, thinking about these things.
Makes sense.
It's like everyone brings their own perspective, and that's where things really click.
Totally. It's like we're all sharing wisdom.
Yeah.
And in a way, that reflects the Trinity, right? We're not meant to go it alone.
I like that.
We're made for community, dialogue, discovering things together.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thanks. And it makes me think about how Dr. Klein approaches this whole thing.
How so?
She's not just, lecturing or anything. She's
Yeah.
creating a space to explore, to be open, to really connect with each other.
I think a lot of people are looking for that.
For sure. And for me personally, I always look for those takeaways, like how can we actually live this stuff out?
Totally agree. We don't want our faith to just be some, head knowledge.
No way.
We want it to change how we love, how we serve, how we live in the world.
Absolutely.
And I think this session with Dr. Klein will be full of those practical insights.
Yeah, it's not just about grasping the mystery of I and the Father are one.
It's about living it out, right?
Exactly. And in our relationships, our work, our everyday choices.
So to everyone listening, if you're feeling that pull, that desire to go deeper, to connect with something bigger,
Yeah, if you're ready.
join us for this Zoom session with Dr. Elizabeth Klein.
November 25th, 8 p.m. Singapore time.
It's a chance to explore some big truths about God, about humanity, about the potential we all have.
It's going to be an amazing journey, and we can't wait to share it with you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
See you on the 25th.
Reflection questions. 1. Doesn't the incarnation make God less mysterious? 2. How is the mystery deepened in Jesus Christ? 3. What is the significance of the Transfiguration? 4. What is the significance of the cloud in the Transfiguration? 5. Why is Peter rebuked for wanting to build tents? Model answers will be revealed at the Zoom session. See you there, and God bless you always.